Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we're doing a side dish, or if you want to bulk it up a little bit, you can make it into a meal. So this one is called chili lima beans. In Australia we don't call beans lima beans, or we may have a lima bean, I don't know, but this one I've used broad beans. And unfortunately, I knew I was not going to have enough broad beans, so I used edamames, and then I just had to shell them all. So, and to make things worse, never go to the supermarket when you know what you need, but you don't, and you're in a hurry, because you're just so happy to find something close enough and you'll pick it up. And then when you go to use the ingredient, you realise you haven't got enough of it anyway. So I had some broad beans, knew I wasn't going to have enough, so I've had to use the edamames, and I've just had to boil them and shell them. That was not fun. Have wrinkly fingers from peeling things, because I also had to peel and chop tomatoes as well. So that being said, we're less on the beans. I've got more tomatoes. The mint had to go in the freezer because I was sick and the mint was just going yuck in the fridge. So it's been a long time coming, this one, and it's actually taken a long time to get it all ready. But I'm going to do it in the wok on the stovetop. I've already done the beans in a saucepan, boiled them over in hot water for 15 minutes, and I've also peeled and chopped the tomatoes. So come on in, I'm going to show you what we have to do, and we'll get going. So unfortunately, I'm still a few days getting over the remainder of a flu. Flu's not good any time of the year, I'll stress that to you. But also because it's been such a hard year and I've basically been overworking. And then I tried to go out a couple of times. Long story short, my body's just said, no, you're going to get sick. You're going to have a break from work. Good idea, but not a good idea. So, therefore, you can imagine cooking is the last thing that you want to do. But anyway, I'm getting back into it. I'm trying to actually sit down and enjoy preparation as well as cooking, which at the moment I just find that I haven't got a very good attention span. So, definitely got to work on that. Alright, so we needed 900 grams of broad beans frozen, as I explained in the beginning. This is what a broad bean is that's frozen. This is what happens when you shell the edamame. There's normally about 3 per one, so they sort of remind me of a sugar snap pea. That is not 900 grams, but that's all I've got, so that's all I'm getting. 1/4 cup of oil. You could go with any oil you want. I'm going to stick with good old traditional olive oil. 1 small green chili pepper sliced. Pop gloves on. I don't know if these have those horrible seeds that you shouldn't touch. I'm just about to touch one now anyway. Anyway. I'll let you know if my eyes burn away. My nose is definitely on fire anyway. So that one's chopped up. 1 medium onion sliced. If a recipe says sliced, that means put it into rings. If it's diced, it's into little squares. 2 cloves of garlic crushed. I have not yet crushed them, but they're ready to roll. 450 grams of tomatoes, peeled, de-seeded and chopped. There they are. Salt and pepper, that's a crack of each. A pinch of sugar, that would be white sugar. That's just to take away some of the that bland flavour that you get from tomatoes and sweeten it a little bit. A pinch of dried basil. There's a bit more than a pinch left in that jar. A pinch of dried oregano. A pinch of cayenne is optional. I'm going to put it in. And a tablespoon of chopped fresh mint. Now, the fresh mint has actually dried out. It had to go in the freezer because it was starting to go gross. So we're doing this on the stove top, so you need a frying pan. I thought I'd just use the wok, the stovetop wok. And you're going to need a stirring stick. So apart from that, the first step was to drain and boil gently the broad beans for 15 minutes. Now, don't drain them. Put them in cold water with a bit of salt. I actually decided not to do any salt, so I just boiled them up for 15 minutes. So our next step is going to be go over to the stovetop. We're going to heat some oil in our frying pan and fry the chili pepper and onion gently for 4 minutes. So I'm going over there. You're coming with me. Let's roll. Now, I don't think I mentioned it, but this serves 6, and they recommend it as a side dish with some bacon or some sausages. I'm just going to have it as is because I had a bit of a savoury tooth earlier, so I craved some chippies, so I'm just going to have a very light meal. So crank that up as high as you can. Whoops. Alright. So I like the wok because you can actually see what's going on in there. So grab your onion and that green chili pepper. Okay, that's that one. And that's that one. Now I want to show you. This is what the pod of the edamames looked like. So when I shelled them, there was about 3 little tiny dots in there. They were very hard to shell. Oh, actually, no, they weren't very hard to shell. I think boiling them made it easier. So I have a full bucket for the compost bin, which is great. Alright. So I'm also doing this because I really do need to try and start and eat healthy. If I hadn't gone to Aldi, I probably wouldn't have given in to my savoury tooth. But anyway, sometimes you do these things. Alright. I've been sitting down a bit in the kitchen as well. My legs need to rest as much as they can at the moment. Alright. So we're going to stir fry this for about 4 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, so I'm happy enough with that. So the tomatoes and the garlic, I just crushed the garlic into the same bowl, figuring that it was going to be easier in the long run because it's all going in at the same time. We're going to stir this for about another 4 minutes. I'm keeping it up hot because this way we'll get all the tomato juice and all that to drain off a little bit as well. The tomatoes were getting ripe, which is actually one good thing because riper tomatoes cook better, they give you more flavour, and they were easier to peel as well. Do you know how to peel a tomato? So, what you do, you've got your tomato on the bottom, turn it upside down. So, obviously, upside down is not the top part where there's sometimes a little bit of a green part that you can pull off. And you'll see sort of a middle section. Put a cross in the bottom, and then what you need to do is put them in a bowl and boil up the kettle, and you want boiling hot water. Leave them soak in the boiling hot water for about 2 to 3 minutes. Have a look in. If you start to see the skin starting to wrinkle on them, you'll know that they're ready to peel. Then get a second bowl, fill that with cold water. So you're going from one extreme to the other. So it's like when they say you go from a sauna to an ice bath, although you wouldn't want your skin to go the way this goes. So you're taking it out of the hot water, you're putting it in the cold water, and you'll actually see the skin starting to peel. So once you pull it out of the cold water, you'll literally just peel it, all the skin will come straight off. It's really rewarding to watch how easy that part is. First couple of times when I did it, it was a real, oh, what am I doing? Am I doing this right sort of crap thing, you know? But it's really easy. And then some recipes will actually tell you to chop it, leave the seeds in. Some will tell you to chop it and take the seeds out. So in this instance, we've taken the seeds out. So it's just a case of then chopping it down and then basically just peeling out the middle. So you're throwing away a lot of the tomato, basically. That's the way I see it. But you're not left with all that, the seeds and the bit of peel and all that. So it's actually sort of a good thing in a way. So yeah, maybe one day I might actually do that as a little side video, how to peel tomatoes, like a tutorial. Today's not the day though, I'm sorry. So you can possibly find that somewhere on the internet. But I would say that if you do it the way I just said, you can't go wrong. Don't be scared. The worst thing you're going to do is end up with a little tiny, tiny bit of peel on it. So that'll give you something to work on. All right, I'm happy enough with that. So we're going to put in our broad beans and our edamame. There we go. So that is definitely short of what I needed it to be. But as I say, it's better than nothing. All right, I'm going to turn it down a little bit now. I don't really need it super hot anymore. We basically now are going to start and simmer it for 10 minutes. I know what you're thinking. How can you be simmering something if there's no liquid in it? Well, we sort of do have liquid in it because we've got the tomato juice and the onion juice and all that. So I'm going to pop the timer on for 10 minutes. And in this 10 minutes, we're going to add a little bit of sugar and everything else. As I say it, then we're going to add it. Don't be scared now. All right. So pinch of sugar. That's my pinch of sugar. It's a teaspoon. I'm not going to pinch the sugar. All right, crack of black pepper. You seasoned watchers will know I love pepper. So crack in as much as you want. Salt, I'm trying not to have as much, but I think you need a bit in there though. Stops you getting those horrible leg cramps. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then that's a good thing. All right, a little bit of cayenne pepper. Oh, sorry, no, oregano. A pinch once again. Just a good guess of a measuring spoon. Cayenne pepper, it said, was optional. I'm going to put it in. I don't mind things being a bit spicy because I've still got a little bit of a cold, so I'm sort of thinking, trying to burn the rest of it off. So a pinch of cayenne pepper is going to be about 1/4 teaspoon, just under. That pinch of basil, I'm just going to give that a shake. I don't mind a bit of extra basil. Excuse me, that's the lingering cough. All right. All right, now I am supposed to put the mint on top. However, because my mint started to dry out, I'm going to put mine in. Okay, so in 10 minutes, we are going to be ready to dish up. As I said, use this as a side dish to sausages, bacon, steak, I guess, if you want. Or just maybe serve it with some rice or some potato. I'm just going to have a bowl of it. It's getting pretty late. So I'll be back when I'm ready to dish up. Okay, the buzzer's gone off. So I'm not going to give them any longer because otherwise I'm just going to dry out everything. So there's still a little bit of liquid in there. All right, so thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been chili lima beans, aka chili broad beans. I hope you enjoy it. It's a little bit of a different dish, but it's a good idea to try and, if you're trying to eat extra vegetables, try and do dishes like this where you've got so many veggies in one dish that you don't realize that you're eating vegetables technically, because you've got chili and spices and everything in it, and that is actually a really healthy dish because there's, other than a pinch of sugar and a pinch of salt, everything is actually healthy food in there. So 10 out of 10 for trying it, and 10 out of 10 for me for actually finally getting here. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy. I'm going to catch you on another adventure very soon, and have fun and enjoy. Bye.